So I looked around at a long list of different production companies, and I think our film would best be suited under altitude entertainment. From looking at some of the things they've made and some of the things they're producing, they seem like the kind of studio that isn't afraid of something that's quite controversial and quite dark, and something that might not be too well received by a greater public, but instead have more of a focused audience. So, to give an example of this, in post production right now, they have a black comedy film called Kill Your Friends, about a 27-year-old man going through the music industry right now, working for the music industry as a researcher. He goes to look for new acts, and so far all they've put is they've given a vague description, but it's essentially how he ruins careers of his friends and employees through greed and ambition, and it says here inhumane quantities of drugs, to quote the reference. So just as one example from this film, it kind of reiterates what I said before about how Altitude, out of all the companies I looked at, is one that is not scared of posting something, of making a film that they feel would not be well received by a massive audience, but instead a smaller one. Another example is a very gritty and a fairly infamous film they made called Hyena Road. It was because it's a war film set in Afghanistan. It's about three soldiers. Now, what made this film kind of infamous on film message boards across the internet was the idea that most war films about Afghanistan typically can be very politically biased and unrealistic. They kind of, they show political bias towards the West, like making them appear as the heroes who go to Afghanistan to promote democracy, whereas Hyena Road shows, I think if it had to be compared to any film, it would be, what's the one I'm thinking of? Bomb disposal film. Yeah, that's it. It slipped my mind. If I had to compare Hyena Road to any film from the trailers I've seen and from what reviews have said, it would probably be The Hurt Locker, because like The Hurt Locker is very in depth and it really focuses just on the three characters, but it's not your typical generic kind of war film. West are the good guys, Middle East is a hellhole. It's, it focuses on three characters and all the troubles they face. And the last thing that, so yeah, those are just some of the reasons why I would choose to pitch our film to Altitude. That would be my first choice when pitching.